Hello? Can you hear me now? All right. Thank you. Good morning. Welcome, everyone joining us here and those joining us online. Hello. I'll start by saying, for those joining us here in the sanctuary who might need them, there are listening devices as well as large print hymnals available in the back, either of which a usher can help you with. We gather today upon land which this sanctuary is built that had been stewarded for over 12,000 years by the Abenaki and Pennacook nations, people who did not cede this land, who are still here, and for whom full justice remains elusive. People whose insight continues to offer wisdom and healing even now. We name this because this truth has not always been part of the collective awareness of the history of this place. We name it every week so that it can become woven into our awareness of the present and into future we can yet build of accountability, justice, and true reconciliation. My name is Daniel Eves. We have a special service today provided by our 8th grade coming-of-age youth. I am one of 4 religious education facilitators that have the honor of working with Onyx Del Deo, providing the coming-of-age program. These youth have spent the last 8 months exploring their own values and beliefs, learning about UU, and reflecting on what it means to them. They've been working very hard on the relationship with themselves and others, transitioning from childhood to adolescence. I am always amazed and reminded of just how special these children are and the importance of this time in their lives. I'm filled with hope for the future when hearing their perspectives and watching who they are becoming. Each one of them brings gifts into this world that truly are amazing. Please remember, for these youth, this is the first time they've spoken at a pulpit. If you happen to miss a word or two, remember you can always go back and watch it online. Thank you for coming today and sharing in community to witness their transition from childhood to adolescence. Music today is graciously provided by Jonny Peiffer and Susan Adams, as well as the CoA mentors and CoA youth. There will be no RE classes today. After the time of all ages, children are invited to remain in the sanctuary to witness what the youth will be sharing. However, the nursery is staffed and available for any of the younger kids. There will be refreshments and snacks available after the service downstairs. They'll call out for the extension of the book sale as well happening downstairs. Now, please silence your cell phones. And now for some brief announcements.
Good morning. As he mentioned, the senior youth is extending their book sale until 11:45 today. So go on down and buy some of those books. All those proceeds are helping the senior youth trip at the end of the month. Also downstairs and in your order of service, you can check out some more information because we do need garden hosts still, and we do need lots of cookie bakers because the Pocket Garden Tour, the 35th one, is in 12 days. And you are needed. You are needed because we're about to welcome 1,000 people to walk through 9 gardens, engage with artists, musicians, and educators, and drink water, and eat about 2,000 cookies. We only have about 1,000. Did I mention that? And more importantly, we, as part of our fundraiser, are giving our community a chance to find some peace, have some fun, and build community. Please see us downstairs or check your order of service for some links to sign up to help volunteer. Thank you.
roots in the ground to keep me strong. I got wings so that I can fly. I got roots in the ground to keep me strong. I got wings so that I can fly. All the new things mean more to me when I got strong roots like a tree. All the new things mean more to me when I got strong roots like a tree. All the new things mean more to me when I got strong roots like a tree. All the new things mean more to me when I got strong roots like a tree. Lately I've been thinking about roots and wings, how I need these things.
Our chalice lighting words this morning come from former President Barack Obama. Change will not come if we wait for some other person or some other time. We are the ones who we have been waiting for. We are the change that we seek.
Please rise now if you are able and joining on reciting our mission statement, which is found in your order of service. At South Church, we nurture spiritual growth through worship, learning, and community. We celebrate the worth and dignity of all people, and we inspire one another to act on our faith in a larger community.
Good morning, South Church. My name is Stephanie Katz, and I'm one of the 4 coming of age facilitators this year, along with Emily Samuel, Chris Kuiper, and Daniel Eves. And my husband, Jeremy, who's a mentor this year, the 2 of us grew up attending the UU Church of Nashua, and we went to youth group and Sunday school and youth conferences together all through our growing up, and we both always thought that one day we'd be youth group facilitators, and this year is our first year. So thank you, all of you who've been a part of this experience for us. It's been really wonderful. Coming of Age is South Church's program for 8th graders who are crossing the threshold from childhood to youth. Many cultures have rites of passage rituals around this time of life. In Judaism, there are bat and bar mitzvahs. In Catholicism, young people go through confirmation. And it is believed that in some Aboriginal cultures of Australia, young boys would traditionally go on walkabout, a many months journey into the wilderness, during which they must provide and fend for themselves. And when they returned, they were considered men. At South Church, the rite of passage we ask our young people to undertake is an exploration of self and faith we call coming of age. This program involves 5 critical roles. First, those 8th graders in our congregation in the midst of this transition who wish to participate in this program. Second, the parents and guardians who support their kids in so many ways. Third, the coming of age facilitators who lead Sunday classes and overnight retreats. Fourth, the mentors, hand-selected for each 8th grader to provide them with support and guidance as they navigate the program. Fifth, our RE director and support staff who coordinate the overall program, keep everyone happy and fed, and continually evolve the curriculum. This program culminates each year with a 3-day wilderness retreat and the creation of a faith statement, an individual expression of personal beliefs and values in whatever format feels most authentic, and the presentation of that faith statement to our congregation, which is what we are all here to participate in now. So I'm excited to welcome you all to bear witness to something very special, the honest and vulnerable sharing by another human of what is in their heart. Now please rise if you are able and join in singing our opening hymn, number 1020, in the Teal hymnal.
Hello again. So now it's time, the time for Time of All Ages, but today we're going to do it a little differently. So we asked all the children to remain where they're at. Each week, the CoA youth were presented with topics such as what is good and evil, why do bad things happen, social justice, things along those lines. So today, for Time of All Ages, we're going to have everyone share in one of these topics. Once the topic is presented, take a moment to think in silence. Then when you hear the chime, turn to someone next to you and share for about half a minute. Then when you hear the second chime, switch and let the other person share for about half a minute. When you hear the third chime, this will signal the end of sharing of the topic. So now, if everyone would please rise and turn around and look up. And Reverend Ellen, please let the topic fly. Yes. Here.
What do you have faith in? What do you have faith in?
All right, so everybody can turn back around and sit down if you wish. So I'm going to kind of preface this a little bit. So the question was, what do you have faith in? And I'll just give it a little example for those of you who might not know what faith may be. Myself had to be reminded from time to time. But faith is something you believe, but you cannot prove. So an example, this might be, I absolutely love my dog, but I just can't prove it. So if you can just take a moment and think one more second, and then once you hear the chime, you know what to do. All right. Well, thank you, everyone, for sharing. I hope you've made a connection or found a connection between yourself and at least one other person in this activity. Like I said, this was just one of the many topics that was talked about during the Coming of Age program. Now we invite all kids to stay in the sanctuary. There will be no RE classes today, but the nursery is staffed downstairs for any infants or younger children wishing to attend.
Each Sunday at South Church, we collect an offering which we split with a local community organization to support their good work. During the month of June, our collection will be shared with Gather. Gather provides nutritious food and prepared meals for those experiencing hunger on the seacoast in New Hampshire and Maine. They do this through their pantry market, mobile markets, and innovative food access programs. You can learn more about them in your order of service. We will be passing out baskets, and there is also a QR code located in your order of service if you prefer to make an electronic contribution. The offering will now be gratefully received.
My name is Emily Samuel, and I am one of the coming of age facilitators who have had the privilege of working alongside this group of young people as they have spent the year reflecting on what they believe. One of the joys of this work is that being alongside other humans who are grappling with the questions of faith meant that I too got to reflect on what I believe. I would like to invite you to share in this joy of pondering unanswerable questions as we join together in the spirit of meditation and prayer. I invite you to close your eyes, if that feels right to you, or to soften your gaze as you turn your thoughts inward. Or perhaps you may wish to focus your gaze on a tiny detail in your surroundings, the grain of the wood in the pew, the texture of the hymnal cover. You may wish to relax your hands in your lap, or you may wish to ground yourself by gently touching the smoothness of the wood beneath you, the softness of the cushion supporting you. As you relax into your surroundings, I invite you to consider the question, what is the divine? Is it the feel of paint on your fingers as they touch a canvas? Is it in the crunch of the leaves under your feet as you race through the forest on a crisp fall day? Is it in the cheers of the crowd as you sink the winning basket in the championship game? Are these things works of God? If you sit for hours in the forest, contemplating the beauty of nature, does God speak to you? When you hear the roar of the airplane taking off, a marvel of human ingenuity, could this too cause awe and wonder? When you sit around a campfire laughing with friends, might this time be sacred? When you witness or bear unimaginable pain, but somehow find the strength to keep going, is that faith? When we show up for each other week after week, listening to each other's joy, holding each other's pain, might we too be holy? Please join me in a moment of silence to honor the joys and sorrows that each of us is carrying with us this week. May we all blessed be.
Hi, my name is Lilyane. Growing up, church has always been something we go to on and off. God has never been something forced onto me. Religion has always been my choice. This is something I feel extremely lucky for. Morals have influenced me greatly on who I am today. I want to base what I believe in on what I can control. I do believe there is some higher power. I do think things happen for a reason. But I also know how important it is for me to have morals of my own. First, a moral that feels important to me is to see the beauty in life. There is so much surrounding me that is so beautiful, and I want to recognize that. I tend to get caught up in things that seem so superficial. I want to see through eyes that recognize the gift of beauty all around us. Next, something that has always felt important to me would be respect. Respect for myself and for those around me. Respecting people's journeys has helped me become less judgmental and makes me more open. Along with this, I think it is really important to have respect for yourself. Everyone makes mistakes. I think if I can learn to have more grace with myself, then I will be able to do so with others. Another moral that is important to me is being honest and true to yourself and those around you. I feel that I can get lost in a world full of so many thoughts and opinions. I've personally watched myself grow into someone that I don't always know or recognize. I would like to stop living life focused on what people say or think about me. That is a life bringing me so many unwanted problems. Lastly, something important to me would be love and community. Love is something that is inside of everyone and can be shown to every single person. The people who have shown me so much love and support in my life have had such a great impact on me. I hope I can do the same for others. Togetherness is so important, and learning to lean on others while they can lean on me is a moral I want to have. Thank you so much for listening, and to everyone who has helped guide me on this journey, especially to my mentor Lisa for your time and wisdom.
Hi, my name is Apollo Newbury. I thought, I want to die. I want to die more than ever before. There's no chance of recovery, no matter what sort of thing I do, no matter what I do. It is sure to be a failure, just a final coating applied to my life of shame. The dream of going on bicycles to see a waterfall framed in summer leaves, it is not for the like of me. All that can happen now is that one foul, humiliating sin will be piled on another, and my sufferings will become only the more acute. I want to die. I must die. Living itself is the source of sin. That is a quote from No Longer Human by Osamu Dazai. In the quote, he talks about how he feels there is no use in living, that his life has been a source of shame and suffering and sin, that nothing but death will fix how he feels. I have struggled for a long time with my mental health, and I have been in a similar mental place as the one Dazai was in, but the difference is that I believe I can get better in redemption and having enough strength to improve my own life, for only I can do that. While Dazai believes life is the source of sin, I believe life is also the source of all beauty. I believe that as a human, it is my job to do what I can to better myself, for my own well-being, and for those around me. That it is my job to be open to change when it comes, even when the change is difficult. That it is my job to grow and adapt with the times and those around me, to be the best version of myself I can be. While I believe there are higher powers, only I can decide my words, actions, and fate. The belief in a higher power only helps me motivate me to make the choice I perceive to be the right one. It is myself who chooses to also believe in science, justice, empathy, and equity. I also believe death is not the end of the cycle of life of sin and beauty, but life is a cycle. It is never ending. Death is, simply put, an extension of life, and we should all be the person we want to see in the world. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Sahalie Redmond. I've been coming to this church my whole life. For the longest time, church has always been a place I feel safe at. This community has made a big impact on my life. They are one of the things that I value most. Personally, growing up with a stable community around me has made me feel safe. My friends have also made a big impact on my life so far. I think that if you're lucky enough to have a friend that will always be there for you no matter what, is a gift. Even though your friends can make a big impact on you, you can't forget to lose yourself in the process. It's a common thought that people think they need to change themselves to either fit in or have people like them. But I think it's the exact opposite. I used to think that I would either need to be more outgoing or quiet for people to like me. But really, people only see you for the real you. Once I figured out that you don't need to change myself, I started to find people in my life who really mattered, and the ones who I didn't need in my life drifted, and I accepted that. I believe that everything happens for a reason, such as certain people leaving your lives and others coming in or staying. It might seem that I believe God does all of this, but I'm not sure who controls what happens. I do know that there is some force in the universe that watches over you and makes sure you're doing okay, and your family. Family is the most important gift you can have, especially siblings. My sister and I are pretty close, I would say, even though we do have our moments. I remember in 6th grade when I was trying out for the basketball team, and I was so scared I wouldn't make it, but she was with me the whole time, and it ended up being all right. I appreciate my family every day, knowing that some people aren't as lucky enough to have one. I was lucky enough to spend the weekend with the coming of age group camping. When I left to go in the woods, I had no idea how long I would be out there, or how in the world I would keep myself entertained. But while I was out there, I had a lot of time to reflect. I thought about how grateful I was for everything. Some main topics that kept coming up were my family and my friends and how lucky I was to be out there. It was a very special time for me just to take in my surroundings and relax. I will remember that camping trip and the whole coming of age year for a long time. Lastly, I just want to thank my mentor, Alyssa, who helped me so much and I had such a great time with. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Azalea, and I struggled a lot with the painting. I struggled a lot with trying to find a writing, and being here today and seeing everybody else and hearing everyone else's made me realize why I struggled so much and a big mistake I was making. I've realized that I've not been trying or to be true to myself while making the painting. I tried to put all my beliefs and all my thoughts and all of me onto a single canvas. And I realized that no amount of paint, especially while I was painting, could ever express that. As well as, I thought that would be the answer because I realized that no amount of words would ever express all I feel. My whole life I have struggled with intense emotions, intense thoughts. There simple sentences in my head can take a whole paragraph to explain to people. So that's why this will probably be short. But I just want, to anyone in this room that I know, or anyone that has ever just seen me around, words do not hold as much meaning as actions do to me. And if I've ever said anything mean to you or anyone, I can assure you that I've never really meant it. And I encourage you to apply that to anyone you know, because I know I'm not the only one that speaks through their actions and not their words. So if you know anyone that's ever been mean to you, or you feel like they have wronged you, try to listen to their actions and see if they say the same thing. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah.
Hi, my name is Nate McGeorge. There are a lot of religions in this world that you can choose to believe in, from Christianity to Buddhism or even Judaism. And all of them are good in their own way. But the problem for me has been that joining a religion or identifying with a religious group has seemed like a big commitment. In these past few weeks, I've done a lot of thinking, and I have found that it's just easier to take things from different religions than just joining one. One thing I have always found true to me is the idea of karma, not person to person, but a universal effect. For example, when COVID ended and we all got to see each other again, we got to go back to regular life, The bad thing in that situation was COVID, and the happy thing was meeting our friends and family again. But when terrible things happen, everything evens out, like I have highs and lows in life. I also have learned a lot of lessons through CoA, especially my time in the woods. They gave us a bag when we first got into the woods, and when I opened it, I took out my notebook and my pen, and I just overlooked the rest of the items in there. There were 2 rocks, which I just assumed were paperweights at first. But after an hour, I got really bored, so I decided to throw the rocks at bigger rocks. The rocks broke in half immediately, and I realized they were like dollar store geos. Inside were like amber and ruby. And I feel like there was like a lesson in all of that, where when you overlook things, they could end up being super cool and worth exploring. The little things and taking chances could end up being really worth it. Unfortunately, those rocks were actually candy, and I threw them at the ground so they were no longer edible. But I feel like CoA has taught me a lot of lessons about what I believe in. And I never really thought about this topic before, about what I believe in, but one thing I have learned is that faith changes all the time. I rewrote my faith statement 3 times, and I know that next week I might have different beliefs, but that's just how we grow. Thank you.
My name is Izabel Yaxley. Faith is something or someone you believe in and something you can put your whole heart into. After some time and thinking, I realized there's something that I've had faith in since forever. Something my mom has been telling me since I could comprehend. That I have a voice, and so does every single person in and outside of this room. No voice should be considered small or go unheard, and no one should have to stay quiet. I don't think that truly stuck until I felt silenced by someone's actions and words. When I was in 2nd grade, my family moved to York, Maine, and I made a best friend immediately. By 4th grade, we decided we liked each other romantically, and everything seemed perfect. Then I started noticing that there were moments when I would get talked over or spoken for, but I brushed it off thinking, oh, whatever, it is who he is. As time went on, it turned into him wanting things from me that I had no interest in, things that left me silent. But my silence was broken by his voice, laughter, and gross remarks. Something he did left me silent for 3 years, until the end of last year. It left some of the people I love with silence that was deafening. Some things people can do can make you feel like the silence is soothing, like the silence blinds you from the judgment that would come with speaking out. I felt like it was my fault, like my voice was not loud enough, and that I asked for it. I was at the beginning of the school year, and me and that person were talking again, and everything seemed perfect. Like my friends, him, and I were all okay. That was until there were gross remarks towards me and a few others. I brushed it off and stayed silent. It eventually got to the point where he didn't feel like my friend. I spoke out to someone about everything that happened, which was one of the scariest parts. Although it was hard, my voice was heard, and I still continue to let my voice be heard even past that situation. Let me clarify that when I say that everyone deserves a voice and the ability for that voice to be heard, I don't just mean everyone's verbal voices, but that everyone's actions have a voice, and it's important that everyone listens for that. I also have faith that things happen for a reason, the idea that things will fall into place. Moments that teach you things that you can carry throughout life. Both these things and many more things I believe in that stand out in my life. I acknowledge these things will change with me and my many experiences to come as I get older. I'm excited to grow as a person and do cool things, but I am most excited to see the people around me grow with me.
Hi, my name is Piper Clews. Writing my faith statement was hard. What did I believe in? I thought long and hard, and I figured it out. I believe that fear is the reason you do it, whether it's a sport, job, education, or just life. It fuels you more than ambition. It gives you strength and opportunities. You don't get stronger mentally and physically with ambition. You do it with fear, because the fear of failing and disappointing makes you work harder, and that is what made me too. Throughout life, I've made mistakes, plenty of them. Some almost caused me to fail, and the experience of thinking that I would fail just made me want to work harder. There are not specific moments in my life that I think of failing, and that is because I'm so terrified to fail that I just keep working. In my life, I've been given so many opportunities that I will never take for granted. I don't want to let people down, one of my biggest fears, which fuels me. I practice almost every day just trying to get better. Wherever I mess up in a game, I work on it. When we lived at our old house, I had a perfect street to play basketball on. So for when I lived there, every day for 10 years, I went outside and played, dribbling up and down the road, playing ball at the elementary school, hitting a soccer ball on our fence for hours. When our basketball hoop broke, I used a tree as my hoop to work on fakes, and our cracked old driveway would be used for balance. I threw my lacrosse ball at our front steps to know where to anticipate it. What I'm saying is that I was so scared of failing that I never stopped. Through that, I was able to progress, and that made me confident in my sports. But not just sports. The more work I put in, the more I was able to progress in education too. Though life is not just about sports and education, not even close. But that is what I was raised on, and it has built me up to the person I am today. And with that, it built my pillars of beliefs. Before I end, I would like to thank my mentor, Chandra. You have helped me so much, and I'm so grateful for it. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Onyx Del Deo. I believe that community is a big part of who we are. Even though we are all our own people, we all need connections and relationships in our lives. I believe that everyone is responsible for creating, balancing, and maintaining their relationships. I don't believe in God, but I believe that everyone should be equal with no higher power over each other. I believe that motivation and drive can lead you to be your best self, and that dedication and patience can help. I believe that everyone has their thing, something they are passionate about that has or will change their life. For me, that thing is music. 4 years ago, the pandemic started, and I felt scared. At the same time, my mom, my sister, and I needed a temporary home while we found a permanent house. As the lockdown started, we moved in with someone from church that I hadn't really known. 2 weeks passed without having been called back into school, and I hadn't seen my friends since. I dropped out of school. I chose to take care of myself with a different path for my end of elementary school career. I went outside and rode a bike, played in the woods, drew with chalk on the driveway, and learned so much from experience. After several months, I still hadn't seen my friends. I would FaceTime them every day, but it wasn't the same. I loved living with these wonderful people and also getting to know my mom's then new boyfriend, Tom, but I was starting to get stomach aches that would wake me up in the night, unable to fall asleep again. For a while, we didn't know what was causing my stomach aches, but we eventually figured it was anxiety.
When we went back to school, everyone was wearing masks and staying away from each other. I ended up skipping way too much school. Time passed and we found a permanent house. I started seeing a therapist and started getting better. We adopted a dog to help me. Immediately, Dory and I became best friends. She slept with me in bed every night, protecting me. My anxiety got significantly better, but I started becoming depressed. I know it's cliche, but I really did feel numb, like I constantly felt like I was dreaming and that nothing was real. It was extremely difficult for me, my family, and even my friends. Then I developed my passion for music, listening to music, playing music, writing music, singing music. I feel like music has changed me as a person and is now a big part of who I am. I believe that everyone is different, and being able to believe different things and that everyone has the capability to change. Thank you.
Hello. Hello. My name is Simon Lamb. My current religious standing is agnostic. This means that I don't know whether there is or isn't any God or godlike being. I believe that all people are born good, and whether they stay that way is based on how they are raised and the environment around them and the choices they make. What happens to you does not define you. It is all about how you respond. I believe that sometimes random things just happened, not as punishment or reward, and because of this, bad things can happen to good people and vice versa. In contrary, I also believe that to some extent, what you put into the world comes back to you, even if later and from different sources. All actions have an impact, no matter how small or large. If you take a bag of chips from the box, there will be one less bag for you or someone else if they want a snack. If you choose to drive rather than walk, there will be more cars on the road and possibly slow other people down. And what you say to someone can make or break their day. I believe that everybody deserves the resources to not only survive, but thrive. And that people should be rewarded or punished not for what they are, but based on what they do. I just wanted to thank my mentor, Jeremy, and all of the coming of age group for guiding me along the way.
It is a South Church tradition that when youth complete the coming of age program, they are given a necklace. It has a chalice image on it, which is the symbol of our faith. I now invite the mentors to put the necklaces on the coming of age youth. Please come up.
I can change the world with my own two hands, make it a better place with my own two make it a kinder place. With my own two hands, with my own two hands, I can make peace on earth. With my own two hands, I can clean up the earth. With my own two hands, I can reach out to you. With my own two hands, with my own two hands, with my own two hands, I'm gonna make a brighter place. With my own two hands, I'm gonna make a safer place. With my own two hands, I'm gonna help the human race. With my own two hands, with my own two hands, with my own two hands, I can hold you in my own two hands, and I can comfort you with my own two hands. But you got to use your own two hands. Use your own two hands. Use your own two hands. With our own two hands. With my own two hands.
We go now in peace, knowing that when we return, we will find friends.
Please rise in body or in spirit and take the arm or hand or shoulder of a person nearby. Today we honor our precious youth and welcome them into this loving community as equals. While we can expect them to show up in new ways of responsibility, they can expect us to support them on their journeys. As we leave this place today, we take with us a sense of becoming. We are all in transition and transformation. We arrive at one place with reflection and begin the next journey with courage. As we leave this sacred space today, we are the embodiment of living statements of faith. Let us never stop questioning what we believe and relentlessly seek our own truth. Blessed be.
You may think I won't be heard, still I raise this hand, spread this word, these words of fire, of hope and desire, and I'll let them free. Hear my voice. Hear my dreams. Let me make a world in which we believe, in which we believe.